The release train engineer's primary role is to act as the servant leader and facilitator for the agile release train. Unlike a project manager who might focus on individual deadlines, the release train engineer is deeply invested in how the train performs as a whole. This means the release train engineer is responsible for fostering collaboration across teams, removing systemic impediments, and ensuring alignment with business objectives. Their investment goes beyond administrative oversight. They actively work to improve flow, predictability, and value delivery. The release train engineer continuously monitors the health of the agile release train. They look at metrics like team velocity, predictability, quality of deliverables, and feature completion rates. They use these indicators not to blame, but to guide improvement. By staying invested in these metrics, the release train engineer can detect patterns, anticipate risks, and intervene early before issues become bottlenecks that could compromise the train's performance. Another key aspect is facilitating collaboration and transparency. The release train engineer invests in relationships between teams, product management, system architects, and stakeholders. They ensure that communication flows effectively and that teams understand dependencies. This helps prevent silos and misalignment, which are common causes of delays and rework in large-scale agile environments. The release train engineer also coaches teams and leadership on lean agile principles. This includes helping product owners and scrum masters understand how their work impacts the train's overall objectives and guiding leadership to prioritize work that maximizes value. This investment in knowledge and capability strengthens the agile release train's performance over time because decisions are made based on value and systemic thinking rather than short-term gains. Continuous improvement is another major area. The release train engineer facilitates inspect and adapt workshops where the agile release train reflects on performance, identifies weaknesses, and implements improvements. By being invested in the train's long-term performance, the release train engineer ensures that lessons learned are applied and that the agile release train evolves to become more predictable, efficient, and resilient. In addition, the release train engineer acts as a shield for teams, protecting them from unnecessary distractions and external pressures that could derail performance. This is a direct investment in team morale and productivity, recognizing that high-performing teams lead to a high-performing agile release train. The release train engineer also works on aligning the agile release train with strategic objectives. By connecting day-to-day execution with business goals, they ensure that the train delivers outcomes that matter, not just outputs. This alignment strengthens stakeholder confidence and ensures that the agile release train's efforts produce tangible value. Being invested also means the release train engineer takes ownership of risk management. They proactively identify risks across teams and dependencies and coordinate mitigation strategies. Their engagement helps the agile release train navigate challenges without losing momentum. Furthermore, the release train engineer monitors cross-team dependencies and resource utilization. They invest time in understanding how delays in one team impact the train as a whole and work with leadership to balance workloads. This systemic perspective is crucial for keeping the agile release train on track. The release train engineer also champions a culture of accountability and recognition. They celebrate team achievements, encourage transparency about challenges, and foster a safe environment where continuous improvement is possible. This investment in culture directly impacts performance because motivated, aligned teams deliver better outcomes. Finally, the release train engineer is committed to long-term sustainability. They do not just aim for short-term delivery wins. They ensure the agile release train develops maturity, resilience, and adaptability to handle future challenges. This investment ensures the Agile release train continues to perform effectively over multiple program increments, benefiting both teams and the organization.